Hello and welcome, Katie here. Thanks so much for stopping by. I am back with another project for Miss Ink Stamps, and today I've got a really simple watercoloring technique, and we're going to use one of the new stencils that just released from Miss Ink Stamp. I love the Leafy Swirls. That's what this is called, the Leafy Swirls Stencil. And I just wanted to throw a little bit of watercolor on there, and the technique I'm going to show you is super easy and anybody can do it. Okay, so we've got the Leafy Swirls Stencil you can see there. I'm going to use the Sentiment Thinking of You from the Magnolia Sympathy stamp set. I've got some masking tape, paper, some watercolor paper. I've got a little die to cut my mask. And then the inks, I've got some Distress inks, and I've got some Elements ink pads from Lavinia Stamps, but any water-based ink, water-reactive ink rather, is going to work fine for this. You don't even need fancy watercolors. Most dye inks are water-reactive, so anything that you have is going to work okay for this. So I got my mask cut out. I've applied it to my watercolor panel. The panel measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. We're going to do landscape style. And then I just used one of those cheap Cricut mats. I have one cut down to do my stenciling, and when I need to color small die cuts and things, you can stick it right on there and it holds everything down and lets you ink everything up really nicely. So I started off with mustard seed, covered the whole open panel, the open part of the stencil. And then I came in with the olive. If you have crushed olive Distress ink, that would be a good replacement. But I used olive from the Elements line because I don't have crushed olive. And then I came over top with a little bit of pine needles just to give a deeper green, blue-green color. And this is what it looks like once the stencil's removed. You could totally leave it like this. This is really pretty also. I might do another panel with it like this. But instead I decided to add a little bit of water. So I took one of my number 4 round watercolor brushes, and I'm just dipping it into a jar of clean, clear water that's off to the side. Following the line of the leaves and the swirls, and sometimes I go ahead and just dab that water on. Super simple. There's nothing complicated. Really quick technique. And it allows you to have a looser look of a card. So it makes you look like you worked really hard at watercoloring, but you didn't. I'm going to stamp up the Thinking of You sentiment with the Shady Lane ink from VersaFine Clair. Did that twice, so we get a nice deep dark green. And then I add a little splatter. So each of the colors that I used to blend, I just used a little bit of that to splatter on. And then I added some jute twine around, and that's going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Be sure and check the description box below and follow Miss Ink Stamp's Facebook group and share what you guys are making. We'd love to see what you guys are creating. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video.